Welcome back, everyone, to another explainer. Today, we're diving into a real mystery unfolding right now in the global precious metals market. I mean, if you've been watching the charts lately, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're standing at this massive crossroads with silver, and you can literally feel the tension.
Okay, let's dive into this, because this is the ultimate question on every single investor's mind right now. Will silver finally smash through that psychological $60 resistance level, or are we staring down the barrel of a market correction first? It's basically a high-stakes tug of war, and today we're going to break down the exact forces pulling on both sides of that rope.
Section 1. Today's silver price snapshot. So to solve this mystery, we first got to look at the facts on the ground. Right now, the international spot silver price is sitting at exactly $58.06 per troy ounce. Now, obviously, global markets are actively trading, so this number is going to fluctuate a bit throughout the session, but 58.06, that's our current anchor point. We are so close to that $60 threshold. Let's actually break that down just a bit further to get a micro perspective. That $58 an ounce? Well, it works out to roughly $1.87 per gram. Breaking it down like this just kind of helps us see the exact ground level rate that manufacturers, jewelers, and, everyday buyers are dealing with across the globe today. All right, Section 2, the US dollar effect. So that's where we are right now. But why are we there? What's holding silver back? Or alternatively, winding it up like a spring? Well, it pretty much all comes down to the US dollar. Silver, just like most major commodities, is traded globally in US dollars. And this brilliantly illustrates the inverse relationship between the two. A stronger US dollar weighs the scale down, making the metal way more expensive for international buyers using other currencies. But a weaker dollar tilts the scale in the opposite direction. It supports higher silver prices because suddenly it becomes much more affordable worldwide. So if you want to know if silver will hit $60, you absolutely have to watch what the dollar is doing. Moving on to Section 3, 2 pillars of silver demand. Now, beyond just the currency exchange, we also really need to look at actual physical demand. The first pillar acting as a core support system here is investor sentiment, specifically silver's traditional role as a safe haven asset. Whenever we see rising inflation or if financial markets start getting volatile and unpredictable, investors get nervous. And what do? They shift their money into precious metals. Silver acts as this secure store of value, a very tangible way to protect wealth against broad economic uncertainty. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that silver isn't just a financial safety net, it is a totally critical industrial material. Just look at the sectors relying on it. We're talking solar panels, electric vehicles, medical equipment, electronics, advanced manufacturing, the whole shebang. We're living in an era of explosive growth for clean energy and modern tech, and you literally cannot build those things without silver. This industrial demand isn't just some passing trend. It is a massive, long-term, foundational support for silver prices, regardless of what the stock market decides to do on any given day. Section 4. Inside the Pakistani market. Let's see how all this translates into real-world, ground-level realities by checking out a specific regional market. We're going to peek inside the bullion market in Pakistan to see how these global data points are actually playing out locally. Looking at the current rates, prices have actually remained pretty stable, basically unchanged over the past few days. For instance, one tola is sitting at $22.86, which translates to 6,352 Pakistani rupees. 10 grams is at $19.59, or 5,444 rupees. A single gram is just under $2, and a full kilogram rounds out at $1,959. Basically, what we're seeing here is a local market holding its breath, just waiting for a fresh economic signal to break the stillness. So the crucial point is this. Even when local demand in a place like Pakistan is totally flat, international developments are still entirely in the driver's seat. Market experts point out that local bullion dealers aren't just looking at the shoppers walking through their doors. They're adjusting their prices directly based on two main things. First, that global spot price we talked about earlier, and second, the Pakistani rupee's exchange rate against the US dollar. It's like a giant puzzle. A global ripple creates a local wave every single time. And finally, Section 5, what to watch next. Okay, so we've established the baseline. We understand the global macroeconomic forces at play, and we've seen the localized impact. So what are the specific clues you need to look for next to solve our $60 mystery? If you want to anticipate silver's next big move, these are your 3 keys to the kingdom. Upcoming U.S. economic reports, inflation data, and any signals from the Federal Reserve regarding interest rates. These three elements heavily dictate the strength of the US dollar, which, as we know, directly pressures the price of silver. You'll also want to keep a close eye on global stock market movements and geopolitical events, because those can step in and create sudden short-term volatility. Obviously, no one has a crystal ball, but watching these specific indicators gives you the best possible map of the terrain ahead. Which brings us right back full circle to the big question we started with. With our global baseline holding right around that $58.06 mark, what actually happens next? Do you think silver will finally break above $60 per ounce in the coming weeks, fueled by that massive industrial demand and safe haven buying? Or do you expect a strong dollar to step in and force prices to pull back and correct first? Take all the data we've explored today, weigh the evidence, and keep watching those indicators. The market is incredibly dynamic right now, so stay focused, stay informed, and most importantly, keep learning. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.